Spock.
And if you want to watch along, 2 and 3 are on Netflix. Go buy a $4 DVD of Part 1. I'm excited to see Part 1 to see if it's what I remember. I know I love 2. I've already partway through watching 3. I'm watching them all out of order. 2, 3, 1, whatever.
8, whatever.
I've seen them all before. It's not like the continuity is going to get fucked up. I'm like, well, wait a minute.
So yeah, man, Star Trek. We watched it.
Are you? Yeah. How do you rate the show as a whole? What are your thoughts as a whole? I feel like I've kind of been running my mouth.
As a whole?
Like the entity Star Trek, the television series.
I mean, I can see why it was as beloved as it was.
Right.
I mean, because again, like the third season's not that good.
No.
But again, we keep using this word. It's not the clusterfuck I was expecting.
No.
Like,
it's still watchable for the most part.
No, yeah, like I mean, if I was bored and I was just flipping the channels, and like for Whom Gods Destroy was on, and I had shit else to do, I'd be like, I'll watch this.
Fuck it.
This is a fun episode.
Right. What if Alternative Factor was on?
Oh, fuck that shit, dude.
Turn it right the fuck
I
on.
I would throw something at my TV.
I love the characters. I love the idea of Starfleet. I love the iconography. I love the ship.
Yeah.
I love the uniforms.
I love Scotty.
I love Scotty. Oh my god, I love Scotty.
I love Scotty so much.
That's
my Brolo.
I love all the characters, like all the main 7 and Nurse Chapel. What the hell?
Oh, what the hell? A couple of corn dogs.
I'm glad we finished season 3. It's sort of like a bad breakup at the end. It's sort of like, like a relationship that starts off great and then kind of towards the end, it's sort of like, okay, well, we can stop seeing each other now. But then you team up later.
Let's have an open relationship.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go with Star Wars for a while. You go make the convention circuit, whatever.
So, well, it's 7 years later.
What is?
Star Wars.
Star Wars is almost 10 years later. I guess you're right, 69, yeah. So it's 8 years later.
Is there a modern equivalent? I wanted to say...
of Star Trek?
Firefly.
But
it didn't...
It didn't last as long, but it has made, I think, a large cultural impact. In the same way that Star Trek was a cult TV show, I think Firefly sort of achieved that. Although it had much less content than Star Trek did. It only had 13 episodes in a movie, where Star Trek managed to tough it out for 3 years.
But, I mean, it also didn't maintain the success it needed. I mean, like, Star Trek, they canceled it, and it continued to get more and more popular to the point where, like, okay, fuck it, we need to make a movie.
Right.
And then even after the first movie wasn't that great, they're like, we still
Let's
can't
try it again.
We still can't, we still can't,
There's still money to be made here.
Like, for sure, there has to be. Like, that had to have been, like, something was off. Oh, it's you, Gene Roddenberry. Fuck off.
I'd say Firefly is a pretty good...
And so they made a second one, and that was dope. And so, so they made fucking 4 more.
Yeah, I would say for me, personally...
I've never seen Firefly. I think it fucking sucks. I don't know. I'm jacked up on Kickstarter, and I've never seen Firefly.
I love Firefly. I think it's a wonderful program, and I love Serenity. It's.
But is there a modern equivalent?
I think
a modern Prometheus?
I think Firefly is the closest thing you've got. I mean,
can there be anything?
Well, I guess to some degree, Fringe, because I think it was as the seasons went on, it didn't get as high of ratings, so they kept reducing the episode order, but I don't think they ever slashed the budget, and I don't think there was ever a letter writing campaign to save it or anything. There was a letter writing campaign for Firefly. After episode 2, things are so much faster now.
Yeah.
Like in the old days, it was like, let it run for a year, see what happens. Watch what happens. Whereas now it's like, if you're not performing immediately...
Like 6 episodes, like, that...
TV shows aren't really allowed to develop
We
their
won't
voice.
air the last half of a 13-episode season. You'll have to just watch that shit on DVD.
Used to be as artists or as entertainers, they could, entertainers, artists could find their voices in public, and see if there was something there. Now it's sort of a perform or get out like right away. At least in terms of, or put your shit on YouTube.
We should,
make our own sci-fi show.
Well, we should have our own channel
on YouTube.
On whatever.
How many TV shows are we gonna make?
5.
Are we gonna be showrunners on 5 TV shows?
Well,
we'll let Daryl run one.
Let's not do that. Let's not go crazy here.
Okay. We'll let Fratto run one.
I'd rather have Fratto run a show than Daryl. And why is that? Because Daryl would rather listen to a CD, listen to 1,000,000 times, than hang out with us.
He'd rather read about the gathering of the Juggalos, some badass stories, and start planning his trip to the gathering of the Juggalos.
Then hang out with us.
That's a sad thought to end the show on. We got to bring it up.
Let's make it happy. Okay. What's
favorite Star Trek moment?
And I don't. Well, we've already discussed this. We'll
get to that. Then.
We after the movies, we'll have 2 podcasts worth of movies. Then we'll have an up. It's a. We've already recorded it. We already recorded it. It's a mammoth podcast. It's going to be about 3 hours long. We'll break it up into 2 pieces. We recorded it live in Austin. It's a lot of fun. We had some friends there. It was great times, and
hopefully it translates.
It was a blast. We discussed all sorts of things, including our favorite moments in the show, our favorite episodes. So I don't want to start talking about that kind of stuff here.
Good point.
I do want to say that.
Want to say LLAP?
I want to say LLAP KO. I don't know. Like I feel like if like nerds were like the Boy Scouts of America, I'd be sewing a patch on right now.
Yeah. So you feel more like you earned something than you really had an experience. Like you seem kind of down on the show.
Well, no. I enjoyed it because I think it was like after that week, that really great week was when I was like, okay, like
this is awesome.
Like I get it now, you know.
Right.
And before I was just like, Star Trek is just a sci-fi show from the '60s, and people
with
didn't
crappy old special effects.
Well, people didn't know shit in the '60s, so like anything in space was dope.
Right.
But it was more than that, and it is more than that, and the 3rd season kind of sucked balls, but what the fuck can you do?
They made up for it with the movies, in my opinion. I think Wrath of Khan is the reason Star Trek needed to exist, period. Like, to get to that perfect moment. For me.
Dude, that movie is really fucking dope.
It holds up. I've watched it 3 times this year.
I've watched it twice this year.
And both times I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Like, the first time, it was after, I believe it was after we started this project, this labor of love. And I was like, I'll watch Star Trek too. I've never watched it before. I heard it's dope.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it really is dope. And then after a 3-hour podcast last week,
we're like, let's fucking do it. We all sat down and turned on Wrath of Khan.
And I watched it again, and it was still fucking good. Like making jokes, with friends.
Asking questions.
Not like at its expense, but I mean, I'll make jokes. I'll make jokes about every movie I watch.
I can't stop.
Yeah.
Neither of us can stop talking. That's why we do podcasts.
But yeah, I mean, just Spock sacrificing his life, and just like that, that conversation he has with Kirk between the glass.
The Kobayashi Maru. We'll get to that. Let's not.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
That's the original series.
Woo! We did it.
Pat
us on the back, America, and Canada or any other nation that enjoys this podcast.
We want to thank our sponsors, Dr. Pepper 10, the official soda.
Lone Star Comics
of Star Trek Into Darkness. Lone Star Comics, the official comic book store of Star Trek Into Darkness. Mountain Dew Kickstart. What the fuck is this? This is a
energizing fruit punch.
Well, that's the flavor.
Name.
I don't know what this is. Energy juice.
Yeah, sure.
The official energy juice of Star Trek Into Darkness.
It's the Prius hybrid of soda juice.
Yeah, I mean this is the future of drinks.
Right. It's the Zarabeth of drinks. Zarabeth Fell, if you're listening to this in the future, Uncles Sean and Sergio, love you very much.
And we're sorry about your name. LLAP.
LLAP. KO.